Hello everyone, Jess here and welcome back to the Green Sofa. Today we're going to be finding out more about common skin types, what their characteristics are and how you can look after them and keep them healthy. So if you love skincare and anything to do with it, you have come to the right place. So do subscribe so you're always kept in the loop. Now, as I've already mentioned, we're going to be learning about skin types. Now, do you actually know which skin type you have? Are you a dry, an oily, combination, sensitive, dehydrated? Have you got an oily skin that doesn't have any spots, or perhaps a dry skin that becomes very oily in the summer? I know, it can feel super overwhelming, but that is exactly why we're here today. And hopefully by the end of it, things are going to make a lot more sense. Let's start off by finding out more about dry skin type. Now, the thing is with a dry skin type is that you're quite often blessed with amazing clarity in your teenage years, but as you get older, signs of premature aging can appear a lot quicker and a lot more visible than other skin types. The main characteristics of a dry skin type are: it can often feel very dry and tight in the mornings, especially after cleansing, and in the afternoon if you haven't applied any moisturiser. It feels a lot better in the summer and finds the winter months very tricky. It's prone to looking a little bit dull and lackluster, and that's because of the build-up of dead skin cells that can often lead to flaky patches. Generally, it has a smaller pore size compared to other skin types, and it also shows a lot more visible signs of aging compared to its skin peers. So now you have a better understanding of what a dry skin type looks like, let's have a quick science lesson to figure out why exactly it becomes dry. So here is a picture of some skin. As you can see, it's broken down into three. The top layer is the epidermis, and this is the part of the skin you'll find the protective skin barrier. This barrier needs to have the correct levels of water and oil in it to help it function properly and keep the skin free from any damage from environmental aggressors such as pollution, exposure to UV rays and day-to-day climate. With the vast amount of skincare ingredients available, I wouldn't blame you for finding this all a bit confusing, but here are some of the most effective ones to use if you have a dry skin type. Let's start off with lactic acid. Now, this is the most gentlest of the AHAs, and that's because its molecule size is very big, so it can't penetrate too far down in the skin and cause any irritation. You'll find it's derived from fruit sugars and also soured milk. Now, this chemical exfoliant helps to rid the skin of dead skin cell buildup and any other impurities, leaving you with a lovely glowing complexion. Hyaluronic acid is the next ingredient you need to consider introducing into your skincare routine. Now, this ingredient is a humectant, which means it's able to draw in water that's surrounding the skin and locking it into place, keeping it nicely hydrated and moisturised. It will also help avoid any tightness you might experience during the day. You'll really notice a difference in how your skin feels with this added boost of hydration. Ceramides are the most used skincare ingredient when combating dry skin. Packed with fatty acids, they're able to nourish the skin and keep it comfortable, even if you suffer from dryness the whole year or just through the winter months. There are a few things to avoid when you have dry skin, starting off with how you cleanse it. I suggest giving a morning cleanse a miss and performing a double cleanse in the evening. This will avoid any over-cleansing and stripping the skin, making it feel uncomfortable. There are some other things to avoid too, which are drying your skin after you've cleansed it. It's always great to leave it a little bit wet when you apply moisturiser, as this can help lock in extra hydration. Avoid hot showers. As lovely as they feel, they can strip the skin of oil and cause irritation. Also, don't be scared of exfoliating, as this can help rid the skin of any dead skin cell buildup. And finally, don't forget to apply a daily SPF for added skin protection. Before we move on, I wanted to quickly mention another skin type that up until recently had been considered the same as dry, and that is dehydrated skin. Now, this skin lacks water, not oil, so it needs to be treated a little bit differently to help it keep looking its best. The main characteristics of a dehydrated skin are: it's prone to looking a little bit dull and lackluster in appearance. You'll find that fine lines and wrinkles can come and go, and it absolutely adores humid weather and steam rooms. And also, you'll find it's desperate for moisture and hydration, especially after bathing. The best ingredients for dehydrated skin are hyaluronic acid, niacinamide and glycerin, and of course not forgetting a big glass of water every day. So next up, let's talk about oily skin type and what you can expect if this is yours. Having an oily skin type is a tricky one, there's no denying that. You'll find that your teenage years you're often plagued with relentless breakouts and acne flare-ups, But as you get older, you'll find that fine lines and wrinkles are usually a lot slower to appear than other skin types. Other characteristics of an oily skin are: it will have an all-over shiny complexion, especially in your T-zone, such as your forehead, nose and chin. You'll find that it feels perfectly comfortable even if you haven't applied any moisturiser. You'll also see that fine lines and wrinkles take a long time to appear compared to your skin peers. And finally, you might be prone to the odd breakout and spot every now and then. Believe it or not, using a facial oil on an oily skin is actually really beneficial as it helps to restore balance. What you might find is that you have a really bad urge to feel clean, which can often lead to over-exfoliating and cleansing the skin. This can then strip it of the vital oil it needs and then kick-starts the skin's sebum production, which basically creates a vicious cycle of constant excess oil and spots. You'll know if you've over-exfoliated your skin because if it has that squeaky clean feeling, you've overdone it and you need to apply a lovely hydrating moisturiser that's packed with hyaluronic acid. Just basically make you feel a lot more comfortable. Some of the best ingredients to use for an oily skin type are the classic all-rounders like glycolic acid, hyaluronic acid and vitamin C. Not forgetting, of course, salicylic acid and benzoyl peroxide. Both of them are renowned at combating blemishes. They're able to work right the way down into the pores and unclog them of any dirt, bacteria and impurities that often lead to spots and breakouts. Now, as tempting as it might feel to want to get rid of these pesky spots with a DIY extraction, I just strongly advise that you let the potent ingredients do the hard work. If you end up doing this, not only are you causing bacteria to spread around the skin, you're also causing long-lasting damage. Okay, so now let's move on to the do's and don'ts when looking after an oily skin. As already mentioned, you don't want to over-cleanse the skin as this can strip it of its essential oils and water it needs. You can also opt for a light facial oil in the evenings as this can help recharge and reset the skin after a long day. Next, you want to avoid mineral oils and other ingredients such as shea butter and cocoa butter, as both of these are comedogenic and can clog the pores. Finally, you want to remember to remain gentle on the skin as it's just going to cause imbalance and irritation. Now, as for makeup, it's best to opt for a matte and oil-free product to help your makeup stay in place and not slip off during midday. Okay, so we've covered dry, dehydrated and oily skin type. Now let's move on to the most tricky to figure out, and that is combination skin. Combination skin can be a little confusing as it often makes you doubt whether or not you might be an oily or a dry skin type. This is usually caused by an imbalance in a change of hormones, weather and environmental aggressors. The main characteristics of combination skin are: your cheeks can often feel more dry than the rest of your skin. Your T-zone can be quite shiny and oily. You'll also find on your T-zone there is visible pores and frequent breakouts. And finally, your makeup might get patchy throughout the day. Treating a combination skin type can feel a little daunting, but it doesn't have to be a long or expensive process. The best ingredients to use to treat both areas of your skin are hyaluronic acid, vitamin C and low percentage of retinol. This little cocktail can help make your skin balanced, healthy and happy. I'd also advise switching up to a richer moisturiser and also a light facial oil during the winter months, just so you nourish your skin whilst you sleep and you wake up with an amazing glowing complexion. Finally, let's talk about sensitive skin. Now, if you have a sensitive skin type, no doubt you already know about it. But if you're still a little bit unsure, here are a few telltale signs of how you can tell. So, the characteristics of a sensitive skin are: it can often feel quite hot and itchy, especially after cleansing. It can flare up and look angry if you've tried a new skincare product. It can burn very easily to exposure to the sun. It can come and go, usually with a hormonal or environmental change. And also you'll find that you can have sensitivity even if you've got a dry, oily combination or dehydrated skin. Having a sensitive skin type is no walk in the park and can feel really frustrating, especially if you enjoy using skincare and want to try out different products. The best thing I would suggest is talking to a dermatologist or a doctor before you try any new product, especially if it has an active level of ingredient in it. You just want to ensure that it's going to keep your skin happy and not irritated. I would also say keep a skin journal, so basically keep notes on how your skin is feeling and how it reacts to different ingredients you introduce to it, just to make sure it remains happy. So that is the end of today's video, all about the most common skin types. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do give it a like and subscribe, and also click the little bell so you're notified next time we upload a video. Take care everyone, and we'll see you again next time. Bye! can keep them the most healthy. The thing is with the skin dry, sorry, you'll really find a difference in, oh no, sorry, completely fucked that up, or just during the winter months. Believe it or not, using an oil, ingredients to use for both skin areas of skin, sorry, keeping your complexion moisturised. Thanks. Prone to flakiness and dry patches because of the dry dead skin. No.